Did you know that your wiring predetermines how you operate at work and even the environments in which you best thrive? Well, since your wiring is something you're born with, it never changes, but your behavior does. Wiring answers the why questions that are hidden underneath the changeability of human behavior. And most importantly, when you discover how wiring impacts your actions and that of others, you more clearly interact with people. You create high performance teams and you transform your organization. Now, with the knowledge of someone's wiring, you can recognize and appreciate what matters to them, how they communicate, and what they need. This profound insight into a person's wiring is more beneficial than knowing their personality profile. In fact, it's the highest form of honoring the other person, particularly when you can deliver communication the way they need to receive it. It also explains why you do what you do and is the source to tap into to get different outcomes. For example, I worked with a CEO who was frustrated by the lack of results despite taking a lot of action. There was no question that she was working really hard. Now, to get to the root cause of what might be happening, we first looked at how she was wired. She was naturally wired as someone who likes to create and act on her own ideas and who likes to see those tangible results. She needs time to think things through and is energized by periods of alone time. She also likes a fast-paced environment and variety in her work and prefers certainty and information before making a decision. In fact, this was her highest driver. Well, this combination of wiring likes to see results quickly, wants to juggle multiple projects, often setting unrealistic expectations, and wants to know the details before moving forward, particularly with decisions on new topics. Well, knowing that human wiring and the business systems are interconnected, I also asked if she had a strategy for her business mapped out. The short answer was no. Well, based on the results she wanted to achieve, we looked at the most optimal way to address her concerns. And here's what we did and why we did it. So what we did, number one, was to develop a strategy and operationalize the goals and objectives. Here's why we did it. The shoot from the hip approach to securing business was simply not working. She was taking a lot of action, but without focus, which was causing a lot of stress, not only on her, but on her team. And despite her wanting results, she was casting a wide net instead of developing a strategy that could be communicated to her team. Now, with a high sense of urgency, she was performing a lot of tasks quickly. And as a person who was naturally energized by new ideas, she would chase a new idea before fully implementing the first idea. Well, to focus her efforts, we created her strategy, her preferred client profile, and her business blueprint. So we operationalized her goals and objectives so that she had a roadmap to stay laser focused. And to manage her wanting to be involved in every decision, often creating a bottleneck, we outlined the roles of each new team member, mapped out the accountabilities for each member, and aligned with the goals of the organization, and implemented a team reporting process to create a culture of proactive accountability. They reported in their results rather than her asking for it each week. We also implemented ways for her to stay energized. And here's why we did it. With the majority of her day face-to-face interaction, we used time blocking with key times on her schedule for alone time. Why? So that she could re-energize, because in her human wiring, she needed that alone time to process information, to re-energize. And by implementing time blocking, she was able to control the constant barrage of interruptions and stay energized for maximum productivity while remaining responsive. Her team members also felt that by having devoted time when they saw her, she was much more present when talking to them, and we created her organizational structure. an organizational structure for her to delegate to independent contractors so that she could focus on the very strategies that would grow the business. We also developed accountability systems. And here's why we did that. With a high sense of urgency, her highest need for certainty and results, it was necessary to have a way for her to manage outcomes. And she would naturally want to do everything or be involved in every decision, often becoming the bottleneck in the business. Now, by understanding how her human wiring interacted with others and the business system, we used specific tools. We put processes in place to measure and manage outcomes versus micromanaging every task. See, with a profound discovery into how you're wired and pairing those insights with ideal business tools, you expand. You expand your natural capacity for leadership and make a difference on a broader scale. If you're inspired to learn more about your human wiring, I invite you to register for the Wired to Win 101 program, How Are You Hardwired, on Friday, August 12th. Join us online or on site. More information on the link below. I look forward to seeing you there. Until next week, I'm Lisa Mininni. Create a great life.